talking, tasting, swallowing, chewing, and singing are all possible due to our amazing tongue. What a wonderful muscle that we have. Now, oral muscle exercises can provide sensory stimulation to reduce tactile defensiveness in children that are experiencing sensory difficulties. Now, the 13 exercises I have prepared for you today are broken up into 3 sections. Section number 1 is tongue protrusion. Section number 2 is tongue retraction. And we end with our section number 3, which is the lifting of the tongue. Now, these exercises are simple and are made to be used during your daily activity with minimal setup required. Now, for tongue protrusion, our first section, we have exercise number 1, and I like to call this peekaboo tongue. Whenever I say peekaboo, the other kiddo sticks out their tongue. And likewise, they say peekaboo, and I stick out my tongue like this. Peekaboo. Then they say peekaboo. And that's all you do. You stick out your tongue. Now, some kids are going to have difficulty doing this, right? And you want to encourage them as much as possible. If just seeing you isn't enough, you can do this exercise in front of a mirror to motivate them and help them be more aware of their muscles as well. Now, exercise number 2 is balance. And what we do here is we could place a yogurt melt or a Cheerio or a little M&M. Anything that is small enough and that won't cause a choking hazard, we put on the tip of their tongue and we have them lift it. Or just balance it on their tongue. Right, there you go. Now, exercise number 3 is super fun, and it's licking off of the plate. In this exercise, we want to make sure that we are using sticky food of their liking, whether it is chocolate sauce, peanut butter, honey, maybe even whipped cream. And what you want to do is you want to put it on the plate and have them lick it only with their tongue. No lips included, nothing else but their tongue. Now, you can encourage them to bring the plate up to their face, or they can bring their face down to the plate, whatever makes this more doable for them. Now, the last one in this section is licking off of the spoon. Same thing. You could practice with peanut butter. Obviously, we want to practice with more sticky stuff, right? So like peanut butter, honey, chocolate sauce would be a good one. And you put it on the spoon and have the kiddo lick it using only their tongue. Okay, focus on doing this a few times. You could do a whole spoonful, whatever you think your child enjoys the most. Let's do it. Now, the next section is tongue retraction, which is pulling in of the tongue. And the first exercise is blowing. We want to make sure that they are blowing difficult whistles, and we want to just really encourage that slow and steady blow. Whatever they can do, okay? If even might be good to just do a harmonica. If you could do any whistles that are a little bit harder, take more force to do, then go ahead and try that out. Now, what we want to do when we're encouraging this blowing exercise is when we want to encourage a longer, more sustained blowing, okay? So the next exercise for blowing is suggested that we blow bubbles or blow up a balloon, depending on your child's abilities. Now, blowing a balloon is going to be a lot longer and a lot steadier. Same thing with bubbles. The faster you blow, the faster they pop, and you won't be able to blow a lot of bubbles. So we want to focus on the slow and steady blow. There we go. And the last one here is any oral motor exercise that you can do using a straw, which I will link that video in the description below with 6 exercises that you can do with a straw at home. Now, be sure to watch that video so you can add any or all of those 6 exercises to this tongue retraction program as well. And so now we're in section number 3, and this is the lifting of the tongue. Now, these movements might be a little bit more difficult, and they might take a little bit of time. So have patience and do it in the time of day where your child is the most happy and the most engaged. Don't do this during meal times, okay? Just use this as an extra fun activity to try. The first one is to lick your lips with a small open mouth. So for instance, like this. We want to do it clockwise, okay, clockwise, and then we want to do counterclockwise. It's really important for us to do both. Even for me, it's hard to do the counterclockwise. So now the second exercise in this routine is doing the same thing, but with a bigger mouth, with your mouth open wider, right? So maybe like this. So that takes a lot more coordination to do with an open mouth and then doing the clockwise and a counterclockwise. We want to encourage that as many times as your child does. I would say maximum of 3 times. The next one is called tongue pokey pokey. And basically you move your tongue from one side of the cheek to the other cheek. And you do that 5 or 6 times like this. Now you could have them move the tongue or just stick it out and bring it to the other side, whatever they can do best. The next one is cleaning your teeth with the tongue. So what you want to do and encourage your child, you might need a mirror for this, and that is totally fine, and help them count or clean their teeth with their tongue like this. Like I said, it takes a lot of coordination, so using a mirror is key. Now the next one is practicing some sounds, and we're going to use the 3 sounds in order, okay? And we're going to do this order 3 to 5 times. And what we're going to say is p, t, k, p, t, k. You do that 3 to 5 times. P, t, k. And the last one for this section is a tongue clicks, and all you do is kids might have a little bit of a difficult time with this. Sometimes I've tried putting peanut butter on the top of their palate, and then they can kind of lick it off and kind of know where their tongue needs to be positioned. Or if they allow you and they're not that defensive, you could just quickly have them touch the palate and say, okay, that's where your tongue needs to go when you click. There you go. Now I hope you have fun with these exercises, and the key to these exercises is to be consistent and do them as much as possible and increase the difficulty level so your child is getting stronger and their oral muscles are getting more coordinated. If you have any questions, like I said, don't forget to reach out to your pediatrician. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.